talk about me. Now they see me and wish they could walk around me. He gon' get his ass beat up like Ronda Rousey. Let me ride at the bottom, that's where they found me. Now I'ma go all the way. Fuck it, I'm killing them all today. I might just send the whole squad away. Roll them up, smoke them all today, then fall away. They didn't fuck with me back in the dirt. How that shit hurt. Now I be flipping this shit for the low, and a couple of killers, I put them to work. I sent them to put that boy head on the curb, and none of my people gon' tell him a word. Now we ain't do shit, give a fuck what you heard. If he try to flip, make him fly like a bird. You better watch what you say to my brother, bitch. I pull up with another stick. That'll get you and your mama and brother hit. Give a fuck about the other shit.
Hey, yo, what is really going on, YouTube? It's your boy J-Dub, back on your screen again. I got a list of interesting topics, conspiracies, all kinds of shit for you today. Yo, without further ado, let's get right into it. Yo. Toast to my followers. Let's get it.
We look at their rockets. This is how they claim they get into outer space, is these rockets. Their rockets never go straight up. Every single rocket launch from a government space agency, you'll notice, follows a parabolic curve. It goes up, it reaches a peak, but what they do is as the rocket starts coming back down, they make sure that it goes down over the ocean, out of the way of any curious observers. Anyone can see it coming back down to Earth, asks, hey, how come the rocket's not going up anymore? Well, it's going around the curvature of the Earth, is what they tell us. So every single rocket, the reason that it follows a parabolic curve, they say, is because it's going around the curvature of the Earth. The real reason is they can't get up any higher than that.
I'm sorry to tell you, the only thing that's been to space is your imagination.
They tell us that the Earth is a sphere. They show us pictures of a sphere, of a circle. It's a perfect circle. And then they come out and they say, well, it's actually an oblate spheroid. Oh, what's that? Well, it's a sphere that's flattened at both poles, so it's more of an oval shape. It actually bulges out south of the equator, as well as being flattened at the poles. So it's more pear-shaped.
So it's not actually a sphere. It's oblate, and officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good word. It's like pear-shaped.
So now it's pear-shaped. So why are all of these official NASA photos and videos showing perfect spheres when it's actually an oblate spheroid or a pear-shaped spheroid? They can't get their story straight. The reason they keep changing it is that to fit the model, they have to change the shape of the Earth. South of the equator is larger than north of the equator because lines of longitude that just extend outwards, they don't contract back. So they concede that in their pear model. They say, well, the side bulges out south of the equator. It's bigger south of the equator. Yeah, it is, because it's flat. But instead of admitting that, they just, make tweaks to their model as time goes on. They say that the ball Earth tilts back 23.5 degrees. That's another tweak they made because we can see Polaris, which is right over the North Pole, from 23.5 degrees south latitude.
Doesn't move.
Shouldn't be able to see that on a ball. So they just tilt the Earth back and then okay, now you can see it. And so they come up with explanations in reverse like this. Damage control, reverse engineered explanations.
Conspiracy theories that will make you question your existence. The last one with keep you up at night. The reason everyone is scared of uncanny and not quite human-looking things is because there was once a predator that looked like humans, but wasn't, and was trying to hunt us.
We're gonna expose all of Dolly Parton.
What if there still is? Maybe it's still elites. Maybe it's not. Maybe there's never been one. Who fucking knows?
Secrets right now. There's a lot of conspiracy theories about her body and what she's hiding under her perfectly made up look and wardrobe. The first secret that everyone has recently discovered and has been talking about right now is the fact that she wears fake hand gloves to cover up her real hands. Even when she's playing the guitar, she's wearing these gloves that make her hands look perfect and rubber and fake. In this recent clip, why does her hand look perfect and seamless and then folding like that on the wrist? And does it render her hands harder to use? People haven't noticed this until now because it's an insane level of perfectionism and covering up. But that's what the Dolly brand is, because if you zoom in, she's absolutely wearing skin-toned, fake, skin-tight, fingerless gloves. And sometimes when she doesn't do up the fingers, almost the full hand, she'll just cover her palms. We haven't seen her real hands for decades. And sometimes she even bedazzles her hand gloves. We'll get into the reason why she does this in a moment, and I think it will really surprise you. But here's a conspiracy theory within a conspiracy theory. In addition to hiding her real hands, when's the last time you saw Dolly Parton without sleeves on? Probably never. Partly because her whole fashion aesthetic throughout her whole career has been really iconic and identifiable. Tight, form-fitted, boobs out, only in this triangle, but nothing else. But the conspiracy theory goes is that she's actually covered in tattoos head to toe and has been her whole career. That's why she never wanted to show her arms. She's so committed to not showing her arms. Look at what she wore to get her COVID shot. Committed diva fashion legend.
Yeah, I have a little tattoo. Don't start pulling my clothes down.
No.
Roseanne Barr actually went on a talk show once and kind of exposed Dolly Parton by saying, do you know who's completely, totally covered in tattoos? Dolly Parton. She's got these awesome tattoos all over her body. It turns out she admitted that she does have a lot of tattoos on her body that we have never and will never see, but that they're nothing crazy. It's not covering her whole body.
Well, I have a few little tattoos here and there. I have a few delicate ones. I don't have the real heavy, dark tattoos. Mine are all pastels.
So why hide her hands and her arms? Before I play a clip of what Dolly said, make sure you follow so you finally know the craziest conspiracy theories about each of your favorite celebrities and request who you want to see next. One reason is because of her age. Her stylist was asked about this and he said, why doesn't she want to show her hands? Because she doesn't like them. She's in her 70s. It's a normal woman thing and it makes her feel confident. And about her sleeves, he said she doesn't like her elbows, so she doesn't want to show them. But a bigger part of the reason that she would do it when she was young is because she would get really bad keloid scars, which are like purple, sometimes protruding spots on people's bodies when their scars can't heal properly. The tattoos helped with those a lot as well.
Because I'm very fair and I have a tendency to scar when I get any kind of cuts or whatever. So I've had a few little surgeries here and there for different things. So if my scars didn't heal properly, then I just got to put a few little tattoos around to kind of take the sting out of that.
Speaking facts. So you can pick and choose. What it came down to for me is this. I see homeless folks in the streets of New York all the time that are American citizens. I damn sure see them in California.
Veterans.
We've got poor, impoverished, starving people who were born and raised in this nation. How in the hell do we come up with a $53 million pilot program for illegals, but folks who are here legally are born here, we don't have enough for them? Just like we could come up with billions for Ukraine, but somehow, some way, we can't fix the homeless problem. I'm down for helping Israel. I'm down for helping address the situations with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, okay? I'm down for helping the Ukrainians and fighting off Russia. What about poor and desolate citizens here? How the hell do you print money for foreign countries, but you don't print that money to help eradicate folks that are starving right here in the streets of America who were born and raised here?
Not only the ones that was just born and raised here, what about the ones that have fought for America?
Talking about. And so when you have something like that, what's the one way to eradicate it? Yes, you got to have a flourishing economy. Yes, you can't have inflation. Yes, you can't be on the verge of a recession. Milk don't need to cost $7. Bread don't need to cost $5. Don't get me started with how much sugar costs. You can talk about employment all you want to. You can talk about the labor participation rate. But guess what? If you ain't making no damn money and you got to get two jobs to pay the same prices or to buy the same amount of stuff that you used to buy and the price is higher than it used to be because of inflation, then guess what? What are you really accomplishing?
Nothing.
That's why Trump is on the verge of getting elected, reelected. Because when he was in office, there was a flourishing economy. There was a whole bunch of other problems. And I personally think his return to the presidency is going to be civil war in this country because he's going to be desensitized to bringing anybody together because he's going to be on a revenge tour to get back at everybody who went against him. And I think it could be the worst possible thing for the country. But I can't blame 50 Cent, for example, when he sits up there and he's tweeting, Eric Adams, I need you to explain this to me. What the hell is going on? Maybe we should consider Trump. When he says something like that, like you can see right here, what he's saying when he said it on his social media pages, I can't blame 50 Cent for that. You want to sit up there and excoriate Ice Cube now when he didn't pick sides in 2020? When he wasn't telling you to vote for Biden or Trump, he was just saying, yo, I want to present a plan for black America and see who's willing to listen. And Trump gave the okay and the impression he was willing to listen. You want to call Ice Cube a sellout now? Trump got 12% of the black vote in 2016. He got 16% of the black vote in 2020. They're projecting he's going to get more than 20% of the black vote in this upcoming election. That's what they're saying. And who's to say black folks would be wrong to vote for him? I told y'all before, I am no Republican. I voted for one Republican in my life. That's Governor Chris Christie in New Jersey, because I thought that Corzine was a disaster. I voted for Clinton. I voted for Al Gore. I voted for Barack Obama twice. I voted for Biden, despite the crime bill that incarcerated a whole bunch of people in the 90s that looked like me. I shoved all of that aside. All of it.
But why, though?
Because I knew how divisive Trump would be. But as we sit here now, and we watch something like this transpire, where there seems to be more rapt attention being paid to folks who are not even here illegally, nor are from this country, yet we want to turn around and ignore us. Black folks, Latinos, and beyond, who are impoverished and are in need. We know why you do.
Has anyone else noticed that the melanin deficient have quite literally aligned themselves with the devil, biblically speaking? Think about it. They've taken the Bible and Christianity as a whole, knowingly corrupted it, took it around the globe, indoctrinating and fear-mongering people into doing their bidding under the guise of being good Christians or good followers of Christ and not going to hell. And they're still using that tactic now. The Bible says that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, does it not? What all have they done? They've stolen everything. They've stolen land, people, money, credit for other people's work, finite resources. Right now, they're actively stealing history by rewriting it and whitewashing it and eradicating anything that paints them in a negative light. Yet they've convinced the masses that petty theft and looting is worse than the atrocities they've committed. And even more audaciously, they've made black people the face of crime in this country. They've killed millions of people in some of the most heinous ways, and they're actively defending the extermination of a certain group of people right now. They're destroying the planet, burning the Amazon, which are the lungs of the earth, killing us off to make more money. And then they go to the pulpit on Sunday and preach about how the love of money is the root of all evil. But look at what you've done. You play into those systems every single day. Those systems of marginalization and oppression, you play into them every day. They will preach that and then come up with another way to harm us for profit. Look at the systems that have been created due to greed. For-profit prison systems, this murderous healthcare system, predatory credit systems. Homelessness is being created because it's now being criminalized. So if you're homeless, it basically translates to slave labor. Because if you're homeless, you go to a homeless shelter, there's no room, they're going to kick you out. If you're on the streets homeless, which is now a crime in a lot of places, you're going to go to jail, where you're going to be forced to do free labor, slave labor. They'll say all of these things and then stand on these type of principles. And then so many of us still look at them as symbols of success. I don't look at them and aspire to be anything that they are, have anything that they have, because I know how they've come to acquire it. And y'all, this may be a little harsh, but it's time for everybody to grow the fuck up. Religious principles are keeping us back. And I'm not saying that everything in the Bible is wrong. There's certain things that I apply. But there are certain tenets of that faith that I'm not going to apply to my life because they don't resonate with me. When it comes to helping the poor, loving people, not judging people, you know, the actual teachings of Christ, absolutely. But anything meant to hold me back or make me feel like I'm less than, I'm not keeping that. And we got to get real about that. Look at the way that the stories are set up. You're telling me that I, as a female, a giver of life, came from the rib of a man? That's a way to make you think that you came second when you didn't. Women are the givers of life. Female is the default. Every mammal, including humans, in their embryonic stage began as female. They may develop into male later, but female is the default. So how did you create me if I'm the reproductive blueprint? It's not true. And we got to stop believing stuff just because we've been told this since we were a child. If it defies your sense of logic and reasoning, throw it out. And I've always been able to do that. That's why deconstructing wasn't hard for me. As soon as something doesn't make sense, I can throw it away. That's how it's supposed to be, because that creates balance. Now, religious people will tell you that you're being lukewarm, but that's another tactic to make you push yourself into religious extremism, which isn't healthy either. You need to be able to think critically. Religion does not push that. It wants you to do the opposite. And you got to stop falling for that. Like I said, you don't have to throw away every single thing, but there are certain things that don't resonate and shouldn't resonate because they're false. Look at the story of Adam and Eve. The reason that misogyny and patriarchy are perpetuated and run rampant in this country is because of principles and stories like this. You're telling me that God gave Adam a specific order. Eve gave him the fruit of the tree that he wasn't supposed to eat from. He ate it knowing he wasn't supposed to. And now we all live in a world of sin. Women go through unbearable childbirths and labor pains because they're being punished. Punished for what? Adam's decision. So they've been holding us accountable for the actions of men forever. And those stories set that precedent. And so many women will peddle these stories, and I don't understand that. You're peddling your own oppression. They have reduced you to basically childbearer and slave, and you guys are okay with that. It's time to start thinking for ourselves, y'all. I understand that it's hard to break those shackles, but you have to. You don't have to throw out God. You don't have to throw out Christ, but throw out anything that's going to keep you in bondage. That's where we need to be, and we all should be on the same page with that. Too many of us have been conditioned to just take things in that aren't true. I've seen people on here battling or debating creationism and evolution as if both are backed by empirical evidence when only one is. The other is basically folklore. But they're arguing, and you can see the cognitive dissonance just whipping their ass because they just can't bring themselves to believe that they've been taught something that wasn't true. We're too old for that, y'all. We're too grown to be following things like that when we know better. So we have to do better, period. That's just what it is. And like I said, I don't know how people can look to these people, see the things that they've acquired, see it as abundance when you know how they've come to acquire it. Nothing about what they have or the way they got it makes me want it in that same way. And it's hard for me to want to share a faith with people who I know don't give a damn about me until they need me to be on their side. Is that not what we've been seeing our entire lives? We got to get it together, y'all. Anything that doesn't make sense, throw it out. You're not being lukewarm, you're being balanced, and that's where we need to be.
Yo, I'm a Satanist, so, and as a Satanist, you don't believe in the entities of God and Satan. You believe that you are your own God, and that you're accountable for your own actions, and you can't blame the devil or praise God for something that you've done for yourself, and you can't blame the devil for something that you have done to yourself. You have to take accountability for your own actions in Satanism, and that's where a lot of people think, like, get Satanism wrong, is they think that it's just going against God, and it's not going against God. It's just we believe that we're accountable for our own actions. Okay? And we also believe that other people are accountable for their own actions. It's not the devil, it's not God, it's them. If they do something good, it was out the kindness of their own heart. Not because God made them do it or that. And I'm not saying everything I'm saying is true or fact or anything. I'm just explaining to y'all what I believe in, why I decided to go with Satanism. That is all I got for you today. As I told y'all before, I got a song that's about to drop. It's a diss track to somebody I've known for a long, long time, and he got my blood boiling. So instead of violence, I'm gonna choose taking the pen and paper route. So stay in tune. I got a song coming for y'all soon.